Faribault. Man, you sound like a really good guy there, Roy.
I do. Well, it's all thanks to you. All thanks to you, Gordy.
No, you are. You're a good guy. We'd love to have some people stop in here. Last night I was at the BA boys basketball game. They lost to Randolph 92-46. But before the game, the band was on the stage. The BA band really sounded good, and I'm not just saying that. They did. They really sounded good. That young director they have is doing a good job.
Good.
And no, I can't remember. I think she was a flutist or clarinet. I don't remember which it was. But a young lady, the guy at the scorer's table told me that young woman is going to be going to the state spelling bee next week.
Oh,
and I turned around and I said, hey, come on down to Jana's tomorrow and visit with us about the spelling bee.
That'd be awesome.
I'd love to talk to you about that, and I promise we won't do a spelling test.
Yeah, really. Because you and I would lose.
I don't know. I'm a pretty good
You're
speller.
Pretty good speller. I'm the world's second worst speller.
But I don't think I am in her league.
Yeah.
My brother went to the state spelling bee when he was in high school.
Nice accomplishment.
We didn't have it that I remember when I was in school. We didn't have that competition. Or if we did, I didn't enter it or something.
Yeah. Well, folks, we are Gordy and Royal. We're down here at Jana's Marketplace. And this is the Faribault Youth Activities Show, I think Gordy has renamed it. Spotlight on Youth.
Faribault Youth, yes.
Faribault Youth, yes. Formerly the Faribault Coaches Show. I can always remember that. But
well, everybody calls it the Coaches Show, so.
So we might as well, formerly the Coaches Show.
It's been that since, the radio station went on the air in 1848.
Yeah,
it's kind of hard to change.
But we talk about high school sports and any other activity, too. Robotics or speech, spelling.
I wanted the speller to come. That would have been fun.
Any activity that
I would have loved to have found out what the hardest word she thought was in her spelling contest, that kind of thing.
Interesting, yeah.
And I didn't ask her what grade she was in.
Well,
she didn't look like she was a junior or a senior.
Yeah. Well,
so maybe she doesn't have a driver's license either, but you think she would have said that.
Yeah, maybe she'll come down, but...
I hope so. Yeah. That would be a lot of fun. I said bring the whole family. They got great breakfasts at Jana's.
Absolutely. That's where we are, is Jana's Marketplace, as is every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. And if you haven't eaten here at all or eaten here lately, come on down. They got great hot meals that they can serve. You can dine in and enjoy a cheeseburger for breakfast or hash browns for lunch, whatever you'd like. You can also take some prepackaged, pre-made meals home, and these are freshly made in Jana's kitchen. They're not anything, that's coming out of a can or something like that, but they're made right here in Jana's kitchen, and you can take them home, take them to the office, pop them in the microwave for a couple minutes, and have a nice, delicious, nutritious, warm meal.
Yeah, it's not processed food.
No. And they have lots of healthy options too. They have a lot of turkey options, a lot of chicken options. So there's the fruit salad. Their salads are just awesome. Mine's chef salad, but I love their salads, and they make their own homemade ranch dressing.
Yeah, we talked about that last week. Jana was saying that she sells it by the pint.
Does she? Okay.
Yeah, people can buy a pint, and she sells a fair number of it here, I guess.
I bet. Well, it's got a good reputation. So come on down, folks, and give Jana's a whirl and say hi. Stick your head in our back studio here. We're in the back from 10 to 10:30 on Saturdays. Just stick your head in and say hi.
Her wild rice soup. Oh, It's so good.
And the chili is darn good, too.
Yes, it is.
She makes a good chili. Not overly spicy or anything, so almost, anybody can eat it. And it's wonderful.
Yes,
everything down here is wonderful.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, great food. Great food, so.
It's fantastic.
Absolutely. So, did you call any Faribault games this week?
I told you I was at BA last night.
Oh, yeah, BA.
So, I was at BA Thursday night for the girls. They beat Randolph. Randolph's got a good girls team. They beat them. And they've been playing well as of late.
Yeah.
Should get the seedings for their section tournament that starts next Thursday. That should come out this morning, hopefully. They had to have them in by 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And then they, go through them all and put them up on the website, I would guess, by noon.
What website did they go up on, the Minnesota High School League?
Well, hopefully. They didn't.
With any luck.
They didn't put the hockey up until late. I mean, that's all they have to do.
You have one job. You have one job.
Seriously?
How can we be a fan if we don't know when they're playing?
Well, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Wrestling's going on today in Rochester in Section 1 AAA. Okay. It's Albert Lee area and Northfield for the title.
That'll be a good match, I bet.
Semifinals and finals in 1A and 1AA. This is team competition. Next weekend is the individuals.
Individual section. Okay.
Did your son ever go to state?
I don't believe he did. I'm kind of embarrassed. I mean, he graduated a long time ago.
No,
already.
I understand.
8 years ago already. So, I don't know. I'll try to find that out.
It's pretty special, to make it. I mean, it really is. I mean,
absolutely.
So, I mean, there's no shame if he didn't make it to state.
Oh, no, not at all. Not at all. But I'll try to find that out here while we're on the air and see if I can come up with something.
But did you ever go to the state tournament yourself and watch?
Well, I can guarantee you if Ren went, then I was there. Because I know we went to, some regional or section stuff over in Rochester.
Right.
I remember that. But
he was a lightweight, right?
Yeah, he is a smaller weight. Yeah, he started wrestling varsity in 7th grade. Whatever the lightest weight is, probably about 105.
Maybe 98 in those days.
Yeah, it might have been. I know he was small. And then I think the biggest he ever wrestled at was maybe, in the 120s.
Were you worried about that? When he was...
No.
When he was a 7th grader, you weren't worried about him?
No, a little...
Wrestling varsity,
well,
I mean.
just a little bit. As a parent, you're always concerned, about hazing and things like that, but, he had 2 older brothers that were 4 years older, and they had very good wrestling friends, and so those wrestling friends watched over Ren pretty closely.
Oh, okay. And he probably wrestled with his brothers.
Well, no, his brothers did not wrestle, but their friends did, and the friends watched over their little brother.
So the brothers never wrestled with the little brother at home? I mean, just fooling around wrestling.
Well, they were so much bigger than him. Even with him knowing how to wrestle, it wouldn't have mattered, but, cause they were just so much better.
Oh, okay. I thought that might make him better. You know what I'm saying?
No, I understand the logic there, but like I said, they're just so much bigger than him yeah. But no, I was very thankful for that though, for those, friends of the older brothers that watched over him and kind of took him under their wing and, they made sure that he didn't get hazed too much, I think. So, but, it was a great experience for him. He loved wrestling. Oh, he just took, his 5-year-old son to the...
Yeah, you showed me a picture.
Well, the 5-year-old son is at a tournament today in Waseca. But last week, he took him to the, U of M wrestling match.
Oh man, last night would have been a good one to go to. It was a sellout. Iowa was in town.
Okay. I don't remember who they saw.
The Hawkeyes won last night.
It was last week.
Hawkeyes ranked number 3, Gophers ranked number 7 in the nation.
That's pretty darn good.
But the Hawkeyes got him up at the U.
Yeah, that's too bad. But anytime you have a matchup where their total seeding equals 10 or less, you got a good matchup.
Oh gosh, yes. Oh.
Yeah.
No, that should have been, I can't remember what the score was now.
Well, if Iowa won, that's all we need to know really. But no, those college wrestling matches are very interesting though, because it's really slow until something happens.
Well, they got that riding time, and I'm not a big fan of that myself.
Yeah. Well, without riding time, there might not be any scoring in some of those
matches. Well, that's
true. Because they're, you got two high quality opponents, and usually the match is 3-2 or something. It's, because they're so equal.
Getting back to some Faribault sports, section gymnastics is today. I didn't see Faribault on the list of schools participating up in AA in Farmington. The single A is at Cass and Manorville High School today. The dance team did qualify, the Emeralds. You know, they're in the high kick. They didn't qualify for jazz, but they did qualify for high kick. So they're performing up at Target Center today in hopes of getting some hardware and bringing it home.
Good. Hopefully we can reach out to a couple of them and
we've tried
coaches and get a couple of them in here to talk about their season and everything.
Well, their experience up at Target Center.
Absolutely. Yep.
I've been told you should go sometime, Gordy.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of interesting.
There's a lot
fun to see.
There's a lot of people screaming.
Yeah, there's a lot of cheering going on at the dance competitions.
Getting excited. There's Ed Friesen.
Oh, Ed.
What a perfect name for a winter guy.
Yeah, well, think about now everybody wants to be Ed Summer.
Yeah. Ed Spring, at least.
Ed Spring, yeah.
At least.
Yeah, I thought about changing my name to Summer.
Gordy Summer?
Gordy Summer.
Yeah, that could have been your radio name.
Could be, yeah.
Gordy
I
Summer.
had a radio name. It was Costello.
Really? I like it.
When I was first in radio, and when I moved back home, my folks could listen on the radio, and I didn't want them to think I was ashamed of my name, so I used my real name.
Wow.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Yeah, there's not much history there.
What are you talking about? You're a legend.
So do we have the seeds yet for the girls?
You know, let me take a look. I think they were due
10 o'clock this morning.
Due 10 o'clock this morning, so I guess it'll take a little bit of time to compile. Yeah, nothing yet.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think it would be this early, but
yeah.
But they got a good shot at a home game. I mean, they're going to be on the cusp, I think.
It's going to be on the cusp. You look at the QRF ratings and how coaches go from there. I mean, our girls from the QRF, are in the middle of the pack, but you look at how the girls have done since January 1.
Yes, they've been lights out good.
Yeah, so do coaches, kind of look at, the last 6-7 weeks, BA's been playing pretty well, we lost to Fillmore Central last week in a non-conference game, and that might hold us back a little bit as far as some of that seeding stuff.
Yeah, I know. Scott thought you might end up going back there.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like we've been in the QRF. We've been kind of trading the number 8 and number 9 spots. So how much do the coaches look at that score last week? How much do they look at what we've done since January 1? So it'll be interesting. It always is interesting. I think there's always a surprise or two in the seeds as far as who ends up being 1 or 2 or 3.
Ed's a math guy.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So can you explain to me what QRF is?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, most people can't.
No. Well, and the reason why you can't is you don't know the guy's formula and algorithm for how he ranks teams. What I do know is that the formula, number 1, it's good to win. Okay.
Okay.
Obvious.
As
right?
always. Yep.
But against anybody, I mean, even if it's a team that you should defeat, you get extra points for winning, right?
Yes. So number 1, you want to win, and then somehow the formula takes into account what your opponents do. So you want to get wins against teams that have wins. And
if you lose to a really good team, you still get something out of that, right?
You still get something out of that.
And I don't think if you lose, you should get nothing. Period.
Yeah. I mean,
boy, that's a tough one.
It is a tough one because if you lose to a really good team and it was a really good game, right? That might be worth something. If you're playing somebody that's a class above you, that might be worth something. You're trying to figure out, it's trying to rank teams. It's trying to quantify how competitive you are as a team and how competitive your schedule is.
Right.
And I don't think anything will ever be perfect there, but it certainly is a a good tool. There's a couple other rating systems out there that are not, very well known. So, some coaches are aware of them, some aren't. As far as, looking at some of those things too. You gotta look at who everybody plays, right? How's their conference? Who do they play for a non-conference schedule? And, who's playing well right now? All those kind of factors.
Yeah. Well, next Saturday, the Gopher Conference Boys Basketball Championship is being held, right?
That is correct.
And the Triton Cobras and the Janesville Waldorf Pemberton Bulldogs are playing.
Yep.
The girls from both those schools are playing today.
Yes.
How ironic is that?
Yeah. Yep. And great seasons for both of those schools and their winter sports teams. Yeah. So the girls game, I believe, is 2:00 today at Triton.
Yep.
And that was, that one wasn't quite decided until this week as far as what the matchup was going to be. We knew it was going to be Triton, but we didn't know for sure who was going to come from the West. And next Saturday night, at 7:00, the boys will be playing in Janesville. So it'll be, championship Saturday, good basketball.
Yeah, absolutely. Last night, Ed's team took on a good Randolph team that drilled 17 3-point baskets. That's a lot of 3-pointers.
Yeah. Unfortunately, we've seen a lot of opponents make a lot of 3-pointers. Randolph shoots they do attempt quite a few threes and
over 40.
Yeah. And, I think they lead the conference by far in 3-point shot attempts and they make a decent percentage of them. So can't blame them for doing that, right?
No,
if you got the guys who can knock them down. And, we defensively sometimes, either we get caught helping too long and so we can't close out quick enough on the shooter, or we get caught up in a screen or whatever it is. And, they get a good look. That's just something that, we're a young team. That's something that we just have to learn as we get older here and get a little bit stronger and a little bit quicker. We gotta get back on those shooters quicker.
Yep, that was the big thing I thought watching last night, Ed, was you could just tell they were strong, physically stronger.
Yep. Yeah. That was just one of the thoughts that went through my mind, just during warm-ups. It was just seeing, especially once, the shooter shirts come off and you can see, the python muscles for the arms, and, it's like, yep, we gotta get guys committed to being in the weight room here, throughout the off season and just, work on getting, bigger, stronger, faster. But for basketball, stronger, speed, agility.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Ed, does the 3-point, focus, do you think that's just coming down from the pros? Because I've mentioned on here several times that I have a niece that plays for University of Utah, and they shoot a lot of 3-pointers, and her high school team shot a lot of 3-pointers. So, is it just the trend that's coming down that it's from above, so to speak? I think there's always a certain influence on high school basketball from, what goes on, at the professional level and then at the college level. And, you have so many more players who are, capable of shooting from that distance and making from that distance that, it also kind of changes, offensive schemes. You see a lot more, teams that are, a little bit more spaced offensively than, say, compared to what teams maybe did on offense 20, 30, 40 years ago. So you get more spread, so there's more spacing, so there's a lot of ground that way to cover defensively. And if you got players that can drive, then that makes things even tougher defensively, because now maybe you're trying to take the lane away,
and if they have the guys who can hit the shots, where it's, penetrate and kick, now you got to be able to close out on that shooter. So, it can be a tough thing to defend. I think sometimes now, especially against teams that have good ball handling skills, good shooting skills, it can be really hard to defend those teams with today's offense.
I've also noticed that, when they get more people outside around the 3-point line, that it also creates lanes for kind of a slashing drive to the basket.
Yep.
I see that a lot too. So it does kind of serves a couple of purposes there, I think.
Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does. And anyway, so you just, if you got the people who can shoot, you got the people who can handle the ball, and who, just athletically make, good hard cuts and so on, you can, break a defense down pretty well nowadays, I think.
Yeah, I was told that a lot of this trend in the NBA and elsewhere is from analytics, that the 3-point shot is better for you offensively than a mid-range jumper, for example. They've computed that out.
Yeah.
There's another one of those algorithms.
Yep. Well, you talk about like effective field goal percentage, right? Which, gives a little bit more weight to making a 3-pointer. And again, if you have the people who can make that shot, right? As a coach, I'm not telling my perimeter shooters to stand inside the 3-point line, right? If you can make that shot, right? That's a big shot. I think I'm looking for made hoops. Okay, number one, I'm looking for made hoops.
Scores,
but
you don't care where they are. You just want made hoops.
But to me, it's still an emphasis, that you got to get to the basket, so whether that's a traditional post up or whether that's a drive or whether that's somebody cutting, slashing through the lane, you have to have people doing that, right? That's,
well, Hayden Dillon, for example, had a great game for you last night. I thought he really attacked the basket. I love the way he uses the backboard, right?
Yep.
But he's, a more physical guy. It doesn't bother him to go in there.
Yeah. Hayden is, he's a very good natural athlete. Loves football, so physicality doesn't bother him.
Right.
And he's really, I think over the last month here has really kind of stepped up his game, as far as looking to score more. He also leads us in assists, and he's also our rebound leader. So he's taken a more aggressive role offensively for us, and which has been very good. We've needed that. The last month here, we've just had, too many guys, battling illness, and it's illness that just lingers. And so this kind of gave us a little bit of a different look, as some of these guys have been battling some illness and injuries and whatever. And Hayden just has kind of, taken on that role a little bit. Caden Dockett still is another one who is a good, driver, slasher for us. Not as strong as Hayden, but he also does a good job of, when he has the ball at the perimeter, being able to drive. And Owen Dodderich just does a very, very hard worker and very skilled shooter. People have been taking Owen away from us the last, couple of weeks here, which is, create some challenges for us offensively, but that's where, like I said, Hayden has kind of stepped up, for us. And, I think, Owen is another guy who is still battling some illness stuff. And so, hopefully here this upcoming week he'll be healthier, and we'll have a good week here as we wrap up the regular season.
Well, there's quite a bit of flu going around.
Yep.
Yeah, it's flu or, just congestion.
There's just a lot of stuff going around.
Just a lot of crud stuff that just doesn't go away. Yeah. So.
Well, you've been pretty healthy, though, as of late, so that's good for you, Gordy.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Well, he's talking to Gordy Costello.
Gordy Costello, yes.
Do I look healthy to you?
Sure. Yeah, you do.
Yeah. You're upright?
That's true.
You're upright. You're taking in nourishment, and you're taking in oxygen, so, yeah, you're healthy.
Yeah, well, healthier than I was a year ago, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You and I both.
Yeah.
Right? A year ago is when I tore my Achilles. So.
Yeah, you were hobbling around.
Are you involved in the hiring process for the new football coach?
Yes, I am.
Can you report on where that is, or is that not public knowledge?
We have done a couple interviews this week and working on scheduling one or two more interviews for this upcoming week, and hoping that we'll have this all, finalized here pretty soon.
And how does that work now? You're going to have to go to 9-man, isn't that right?
You don't have to, no. And I, we haven't seen anything yet from the high school league. So the high school league is still working on getting school enrollment data from the Department of Ed, and working on figuring out where all the cutoff lines are.
So you have to be total school enrollment at a certain level to be a 9-man football team?
Yes. Yep. There's a cap for enrollment for being able to play 9-man. So one, and because we co-op with Discovery, there's a formula that takes into account the enrollment at Discovery plus our enrollment. So where does that number land when they look at that?
Even if you
number.
didn't have any football players out of Discovery, it enters in the formula.
Right.
Okay.
Yep. And basically what the formula is, it'd be all of our kids, and then 50% of Discovery's enrollment is how the co-op formula works. So you have to look at where does that number land. Then the schools that qualify for a 9-man, the high school league contacts them and asks them, okay, you qualify to be 9-man. Do you want to play 9-man, or do you want to play 11-man? And so that's the first thing.
The other drawback is your travel, right? You're going to have to, if you are 9-man, there aren't a lot of close 9-man teams.
Yeah. There's that. It won't necessarily be super bad. When you can talk about where we've made trips down the Rushford, Peterson, and Fillmore Central, and so on. We've had some long road trips. You just wouldn't have that short road trip to Kenyon or
right.
to Boone Prairie necessarily.
Well, it'd be kind of a shame too, because you've had a bit of a rivalry with Kenyon Wanamingo. I mean, it's been good football game.
Yeah. I mean, that's true with all sports, right? You get a rivalry, and sometimes even the rivalry changes because you might, something might happen during basketball and carries over to baseball and football or whatever, right? So you get. You lose some of those old rivalries, but where we're at with our enrollment, and in particular the number of boys right now at our school, and the number of boys who are into playing sports, if we qualify for 9-man, that may be the better option for our program.
Okay, well, we'll have to stay tuned. Royal, you want to talk about what's happening at your place?
Sure. Royal Ross with Trek Properties, located in beautiful downtown Faribault, right across the street from the post office. Give us a call, 507-334-3499. Full-service real estate company. Buy, sell, lease commercial property, help you rent out and manage your investment property for residential rentals.
The Southern